Alright, here we are for another run of Ys Origin. This is actually going to be my third run of this. My second run went better in some regards than my first run, but not good enough. It did not PB, it kind of fell apart at the very end. So I have learned a few things, tried a few new tricks and everything, so we'll see how this one goes. We are going to get right into it. Because once again, the beginning is very long, and yeah. So we're gonna play Yunica any percent on easy, and time is gonna start. 3, 2, 1, go.
Jadis, il avait un grand pays légendaire.
So hopefully my audio balance is a little bit better on this one than it was on my last attempt. I did realize that the game audio is a fair bit louder than I expected in some areas, so hopefully fine-tuned a little bit better. So Ys Origin is a prequel to all the events in the other Ys games. So being a prequel and far predating the other events, Adol is nowhere to be found. Instead, we're going to be playing an apprentice knight named Yunica, who's never been able her whole life to use magic. And so the game starts off. Basically, demons have ravaged the Earth. The citizens of Ys have escaped Earth and raised themselves up into the sky in the Solomon Shrine. One day, they discover that the goddesses that helped keep the shrine afloat have disappeared. So they send a search party down to Earth to find out what's going on, where the goddesses have gone. And then on their descent, a mysterious light from a nearby tower attacks them and kind of scatters them to the winds. So Yunica wakes up all on her own here and has a little conversation with the Rhoda tree. So for this game, text mashing, you can generally just hold a single button. It pulls at, I think it's 3 times a second, something to that effect. Might even be 30 times a second. So pretty much just holding, in my case, the jump button is good enough for most speedrunners. If you want to go just a hair faster, when there's text, you can also mash attack. You may catch an additional, mash by doing that. So you may see me doing a mix of both, depending on how I'm feeling at that time. Over the course of the run, by adding the additional attack, you may save just a small handful of seconds. So at my stage of running, it's here nor there. So, Ys Origin builds off of, I believe, Arc of Nepishdim's engine, so it is still a 2D hack-and-slash Ys game. It's been further refined, and I think it's personally the best of the 2D Ys games in terms of combat. And also, unlike the other Ys games, where there's generally a fairly decent-sized world to explore with towns and everything, Ys Origin is set entirely in this tower that we're going to go explore, which the Rhoda tree kind of informs us that the presence of the goddesses has been detected therein. So. One unfortunate part to running Ys Origin is that, specifically Yunica, I'm not sure about the other characters, but is that the beginning is about 4.5 minutes of cutscene, and then you get a brief 20-30 second combat, and then about another 2.5 minute cutscene, and then you actually get to start the run. So every time we reset, or every time we just want to start a run, we get to watch this again. Alright, so here we are arriving at the tower. Yunica finds some of her comrades, under attack. And being the apprentice knight that she is, she's going to rush in and save the day. we'll get our first tutorial, which teaches us some of the basics of combat and the different attacks that you can do. And we'll hopefully quickly dispose of these guys. And before we can celebrate, the wave spawns in. And we learn about boost mode, which basically, when we activate it, will increase defense, attack, and more importantly, will give us our skill bar back faster once we get that. Alright. So that's the first battle done. Now we have another brief cutscene. Like I said, probably about another 2 minutes or so. And at the end of this, we're going to get our first item of the game, which will be the crystal. This crystal is going to let us warp in between all the different floors that we unlock as we purify the statues that we can see off to our upper left there. Very useful item. Cool. Okay, now we're also going to get our second item, an item called the Leela Shell. This basically lets our various search party members communicate with us anywhere within the tower. It's relevant for a couple plot interactions, but otherwise we don't really use it. Alright, and here we are about 7 minutes into the run, and the run finally begins. So we're going to go ahead and run into the tower. And I'm going to go ahead and kill a couple guys and try to get to level 2. I do want to take a couple hits if I can. Okay, there's my level 2. Not doing so hot on that getting hit front. Getting hit a couple times is going to help charge up our boost, which we're going to need after this next battle here. So, yeah, run these guys if possible. Ideally, we can get these guys to kind of stack against the wall. There we go, we got our boost, that's good. Go ahead and get one of our first artifacts, the Cerulean Flabellum. This gives us the power of wind, which lets us create a whirlwind. And right away we're going to make use of that. Oh, and use our boost, and I'm going to fall because apparently my new controller's D-pad is a little funky. Hopefully I can still get this. Alright, good enough. A bit of getting used to the diagonals, I guess. Here we're going to go ahead and attempt to flip through this door. It's a matter of jump, attack. Yeah, there we go. Jumping, activating whirlwind, and then pressing up all within a couple frames of one another. We are going to kill these bats, try to get another level or two. Normally, getting through this door requires getting keys. Oh, I had it. Yeah, this pad's a little funky. So for the most part, runners of this game will use a analog stick. There are some moments where slightly more precise angles are required, in which you'll see me switch to the D-pad. So typically to get into this room, you need to fight a boss and get the, I believe, Mask of Truth or Mask of I, something like that. And it reveals hidden doors, and so there's a hidden door there. But as you may have seen a few minutes ago, there both doors and walls are actually suggestions in this game. There are a lot of areas that you can click through. Most of them, if done well, will save you time. Some of them are very difficult to do, so I'll only be going for a handful of them in this run. We'll talk about them as they show up. One of the other important reasons to use the analog stick over a D-pad is if you run along Unica's right side along a wall, sometimes you can get wall boosts and go a little bit quicker. You basically have to run slightly into the wall, just a hair past parallel to it, which can't be done with the D-pad, so you won't get boosts that way. Now we do have to activate that trap. The item that Rico gave us, the necklace there, was supposed to help block that. But we do need to activate that because it sends us to another area of the tower, and we're going to go here to get a couple upgrades. So first we're going to stop here and pick up this Rota Fruit. We're going to trade this for a weapon upgrade shortly. A lot of the areas feature flashing enemies. By defeating them, you'll unlock certain barriers or spawn in things like the boost there, etc., etc. Here we're going to pick up our first stone upgrade, which is the Emerald. This gives us stronger power of wind and also the ability to charge it. Wind is one of the biggest DPS boosts to Unica's abilities, so we're going to be using it a lot. This door over on the right here can actually be clipped through in the same fashion as the first one, but as you see, the switch for it is actually on the way, so it's generally faster to just hit the switch. If you were to clip through the door on the first try, you'd probably save a second or two, but it can be a little finicky. Here we're going to pick up the Blue Moon Crest, which we're not actually going to use in this run, but it's actually to trigger the scene with Eru. This little guy we try to have a heartfelt conversation with and realize we can't understand him. But much like me, he's hungry, so we hear his stomach grumbling. We realize, hey, we get some fruit. Why don't we go ahead and give it to him? So we decide to give him the Rota Fruit. He's super excited about that and gives us a Clariot Ore and immediately infuses our weapon with it, which strengthens our axe. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, we're going to go back to base camp and go back through. Weapon level is massively important in this game. So basically any chance we get, we're going to take weapon upgrades. Additionally, levels are also very important in this game. If you're under leveled, it is actually possible to do like 0 damage to things, so we'll try to grind where it makes sense to grind. Alright, much better that time around. We'll see how much this D-pad thing comes back to haunt me. Now before we go into this room, we are going to go ahead and equip our necklace that Rico gave us. That way we can not get pulled in by the trap. One of the skips or flips that we do breaks this trap, so it's not actually visible. It is still active, and by defeating these things in the corner, we're going to deactivate both the trap and the invisible barrier that's blocking the door. If I try to just run through the door, I'll just take damage. So now we have a nice little conversation with some more of our search party members. basically kind of filled him in on what's been happening, that we just, disarmed a trap, that we ran into some suspicious fellows, etc., etc. Oh, wait, that didn't happen. Yeah, by clipping through those doors earlier, we completely skipped the first boss and the introduction to two of the villains of this game. The dialogue obviously doesn't realize that, so we're still going to hear about them. Yunica gets, reminded she's still an apprentice, don't overdo it, blah blah blah. We're gonna go onward anyway. Whatever, we do what we want. And what we want to do is get some more bats. Because they're pretty good experience. Of course they're gonna be bats and annoying. We're also gonna try to kill these slimes. Unfortunately that one went off, that's alright. We'll make up that experience. Go ahead and get one more level up. That should take us to the level we need for both the boss and for this little mini boss that's coming up here. Not really a mini boss, but some red monsters that actually kind of hit like a truck if you're under level. And you can see I'm not doing a ton of damage to these guys either, so. Okay, we got a level. Go ahead and pick up our first medallion or medal. These open boss doors in the game. We'll be collecting some, skipping some, so on and so forth. Yeah, you can see these guys actually really hit like a truck. Alright, good. In hindsight, I probably should have kept my boost for the door that's coming up. We do have to clip through another door, and it does require magic, so hopefully I'll get it fairly quickly and not regret that. Alright, first try. Typically, if you have your boost, you'll use it here to get a little bit more movement through this tower. But it's alright. We don't have a way that I'm aware of to skip this door yet, so we are going to kill these bats to unlock the door. And we'll also use that medallion that we picked up. Got our boost back, which is good. Save that for the boss. That health should be okay. We're just gonna go. You can purify this statue and get a free heal. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel, I guess. This boss is not too damaging if you're careful. Ideally, you'll kill this guy in 4 cycles. He has an attack where he'll suck in little minions, and if he does that, he gets some health back. So we want to basically just go all out with whirlwind and try to knock him into a stun phase before he can do that. The first round, he's not going to spawn any minions, so that one we can just go to town and get him. We have to climb up his arms, which is easier said than done sometimes, and be careful that we don't fall off over the top here. Alright. So now we have some minions. So starting on this phase, we want to just try to burst him down before before he can do the vacuum. And of course, we are going to keep falling. Good, good, good. Alright. And same thing with this phase. Alright, got him good. We don't have a boost for this last phase, which is a little unfortunate, so hopefully we can get him. Just want to stay kind of right up on him. Alright, we got him good. As long as we don't fall. Good. Fairly textbook fight. I've been splitting on the level here, so we'll split when we get our level. Alright, good. That was a gold. Love it. Good start. The run can absolutely go downhill very quickly from here, though. Alright, so we are out of this area. We're going to go to our next one. So you can see by doing the wall run there, you're able to skip 2 steps at once. Otherwise, your jump can only handle 1. Alright, Area 2, the flooded prison. We're going to go ahead and purify this statue so that we can return to it shortly. Our first order of business here is going to be to hop up here. Diagonal through that. We don't have to actually kill the enemies for that. And we're going to pick up the silver bracelet. This gives us the ability to run for the rest of the game. In the menu, there's an option to just turn on run as soon as you're able to, so I've got that enabled. So for the rest of the game, we'll just be zipping along. We're going to try to get a couple levels off of these worm enemies. They're worth a fair bit of experience, so wherever we see them, we're going to try and get them. Be a little tricky to make that jump. It's very easy to bonk on that platform. We are going to pick up a safety armor here. This is not strictly required, but it will help with the upcoming battle, so we're just going to go ahead and equip that and gain a little bit of defense. Level if possible. Oh, I did that last time too. That's alright. We'll just go ahead and kill these guys. That guy's almost something of a red herring. Maybe I should stop trying to kill him. Alright, we got our level. Good. So we can ignore this guy. Alright, good. We're gonna go ahead and purify this statue. We will need to return to it later. Also get the heal, which is nice. And we're going to run into a mysterious lady that we were supposed to have run into back in the last area. In this scene, we basically find out that she and the others are not from Ys. They're from the surface world. So this boss fight is actually somewhat difficult as you're starting out. She's very aggressive and does a ton of damage. Yeah. Well, we may have our first retry already. This is not going well. Ideally, you can lock her into a pattern of just using her shield. Yeah, this is not great. I've taken so much damage already. I guess we can play it really slow and just... Come on. Her charge attack is one of the easiest ones to counter. So you can just kind of bait that out. I'm going to lose a lot of time on this, I think. I'm going to try and bait one more. Hopefully get her without dying. Oh, brutal. Absolutely brutal. One hit. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, we're gonna lose all our time here. That's unfortunate. Alright, fine. Just time save for the next run, right? Ideally, you can lock her into a pattern of just shielding over and over. I haven't quite figured out what the trigger is for the shield, so... Well, we got her. Minute and a half loss. We have plenty of time to make that up throughout the run, so this can still come out quite a bit ahead. I should be able to save that on the upcoming 2 bosses alone, in theory. Well, probably not the next boss, but the one after that. Alright, so we're going to come up here and we're going to get our water dragon scales, which will let us breathe into underwater and allow us to progress further into this area. But unfortunately, before we can try out our shiny new toy, we get summoned back to base via the Leela shell. So everybody wants to meet up and just kind of compare notes, basically. So the Knights and Sorcerers decide to carry on with their exploration of the tower. Rico is asked to stay back because he has the ability to upgrade our weapons. So after our cutscene, right before we go back, we're going to stop by and say hi to Rico. He tries to explain how the process works, but Yunica, not being familiar with magic, just gets a headache and says, you know, get on with it. So he gets Claria ore out, and... And just like that, our axe is tempered, and we now have a level 3 weapon. Basically, he says that we'll need to find another piece of Claria ore before he can do that again for us. So we're going to go back to the tower and carry on our exploration. Very important here to go ahead and equip the water dragon scales. If you forget, there's an underwater area shortly where you will absolutely die. Not that I've ever had that happen. Unfortunate. Alright, second try. We're going to pick up another emerald. As I said before, wind is one of the largest parts of our damage, so we want to make sure we get all the whirlwinds in this. We're not going to spend too much time grinding here. There's better spot later on. Oh, right, gotta go under. Oh boy. We are going to, again, try to make use of the walls where we can. Go a little bit faster through this. And we're going to go ahead and purify this statue so that we can return to it. This room has these little water spiders that we need to kill. They have a tendency to want to run to the start of the room. They're also one of the few enemies in the game that are very resistant to the wind skill, so we can't just burn them to death. Yeah, we want to try to group them up, or at least get them backed up against a wall, so they cannot get to the start of the room. Otherwise, they have a lovely habit of just backing all the way to the beginning of this room. We don't want to go back, we want to go forward fast. So, not too bad. I've definitely seen that much worse. Even though there's water, we can still use the walls to our advantage, gain a little bit of speed. Yeah, you can tell when I've got the angle, it goes a little bit quicker. It can be really tricky to find with a joystick. Many runners of this game play with keyboard mouse so that they can get the precise angles. I still prefer just controller. We're going to swim down here and get another Rota fruit. This one's intended for a Rue in this section of the tower, but we're going to skip that. This Rue gives us an elemental stone for our second ability that we're about to pick up. But the Rue in the next area that we need a Rota fruit for, the Rota fruit is quite a bit out of the way, so it's much better to just get this one and hang on to it and sacrifice the slight damage we get with the topaz. Going to float down here and pick up our 11th strike Warhammer. This gives us our second ability, the Bolt Crash. And then we are immediately going to go back to our statue. Once again, very, very important to remember to re-equip the scales. Anytime we use the crystal, it equips it basically, so then we lose whatever item that we were using. If you forget, you will absolutely die on the next screen. Not that I've done that several times before. I missed. So our Bolt Crash ability lets us kill these guys, which we previously could not. They have a lot of armor. Much like the first door, we're not going to be able to skip the next door, so we pick up the arthropod medallion so that we can open that when it comes time. And we're just going to work our way through killing those guys. Alright, cool. We're going to go up a bit. Up some more. You can make this cycle with a wind. If you happen to fall, it hurts a lot. So I'm just going to play it safe. Okay, and now we've reached a spot where we're going to grind for our next level. The world record goes in at 134 HP. I have a lot of trouble with this boss, so I'm going to go ahead and just grind up a couple extra levels. I think 2 extra. It's a bit of a time sink, but you can see there's a lot of good EXP guys right here, so we're just going to go ahead and grind this up real quick. Small clear here. Alright, we're good to go. I've tried killing these guys without taking too much damage in hopes that I could just go into the boss fight without purifying the statue and getting a heal, but I think I spent more time trying to evade the attacks than just face tanking and getting the heal. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that. Alright, on to our next boss. If you've played other Ys games, this guy will probably look familiar to you. Several of the bosses in this game may look familiar to you. Again, being Ys origin, there's a fair bit of reference to events and things from later in the series. So at first, this guy starts up on the tower and we can't really hit him, so we're just going to drop some lightning bolts, do a little bit of damage. And then we're going to let our wind recharge. The goal of this boss is to defeat each of his segments, including his tail, and that'll make his head vulnerable, and then we can finish him off. We have to be a little careful of, in addition to all the lightning bolts that are happening around us, is if he turns around, he can do a laser at us, which does a significant amount of damage. As we defeat his segments, he starts tossing eggs everywhere. Alright. We're gonna go ahead and activate boost, take a little bit less damage, and with any luck, when he slows down, we'll have access to no luck. His head is vulnerable, we just need to take it out. If you're quick with this, there we go, nice. If you're quick with this, you can actually get him before he balls up. And we'll split on fade out. Alright, good. Gold segment. Love it. And we're back ahead, briefly. We're going to move on to our next area. And with this, we're going to go ahead and purify the statue. And we want to get one more level before another little cutscene. So we're going to take the opportunity to kill a couple dudes here. It'll just make the upcoming fight just a little bit easier to have a level. Alright, good. And here we run into another one of our search team members, Musha, who has somehow accidentally teleported here, Suika and Vicky style. Found herself surrounded. We're of course going to be the knight that we are and just take them out. Yeah. Luckily we get a free heal. But we're going to be going back to the goddess statue anyway after this, So we have a little conversation with Musha, find out that, you know, she accidentally teleported here. There's mention that she has spotted Lady Fina, one of the goddesses that we're searching for. And, you know, while we're having a nice little conversation, one of our lesser friends decides to butt in. Suspicious man with claws. We, you know, let it slip that Lady Fina's in the area. He's kind of enthralled with that because he is looking for the goddesses and decides as a parting gift to let us live for giving him some valuable information. Yunica gets the Red Moon crest, which is going to let us proceed further into the area. And off she goes, hopefully back to base camp this time. And we're gonna go back to the start of Guilty Fire. Immediately put our Red Moon crest to use and open up a path forward. This area has a bunch of sections and items that we're not going to go get. They're a little bit out of the way and not all that helpful. One of them is that rodent root that I mentioned earlier, so we're hoarding it from the last section. We're just going to go ahead and go straight up here rather than go down and get all those items. Whoops, why did that? Going the wrong way. Over here, and we're going to pick up a half plate armor. I'm not sure if this is actually a safety or somewhat required. It definitely helps with the damage mitigation in the area. Probably guess these guys are a little bit annoying. We do want to kill these guys though, so we can unlock that goddess statue. We'll be coming back here shortly after some lengthy cutscenes. Alright. So this is one of the longer cutscene sequences in the game. We run into our goddess Fina in an absolutely not suspicious in any way, shape, or form big arena. We have some conversation with her, asking where the other goddess is. Basically, she tells us to leave this tower and just kind of leave everything to them. Just trust them that they know what they're doing. And, oh, surprise of the century, the arena was a trap. We're surrounded. In this instance, we now meet the sorceress that has been laying all the magic traps in the tower, Zaba. And again, we try to be the dashing heroic knight and rush in, but Mr. Axeman here just yeets us the heck away. As it turns out, our friend with the axe here, Kishkul, was the person who killed Yunica's father. Obviously, that doesn't sit so hot with her. Makes her blood boil a little bit, and she is just absolutely going to, even the score with him. Here we go. Oh no, man, I was so close. Yeah, that fight is, as expected, a scripted loss. It is possible with enough leveling and skill to beat him. I think there's even an achievement for it. But for the sake of the speedrun, we just want to get that over with as fast as possible, so we just whirlwind into the crystals. If you just walk into them normally, Yunica gets knocked over and takes, one single instance of damage. But by whirlwinding through them, we can hit several of them and just take massive amounts and end it that much quicker. So Fina agrees to go with the bad guys as long as they agree not to absolutely slaughter Yunica right now. But before she goes, she gives us the silver harmonica and says, give this to Lady Rhea should we encounter her. And not a moment too late, the cavalry rushes in, and... well, just kidding, they were in fact too late. So now we're going to go back to base camp and debrief on the situation and what we've learned and what's going on so far. Unfortunately, Yunica is now feeling a bit downtrodden, having been humbled a little bit by our friend Kishkul. We learn from the head priest here that the goddesses, in addition to descending themselves, also took the sacred artifact, the Black Pearl. Don't tell Disney. Anyway, yeah. So the Black Pearl was the artifact that was keeping the Solomon Shrine afloat. So clearly, it's a kind of great importance that it has disappeared. Yunica asks to remain behind at base camp, just says she's out of her league and just not feeling it now. So now we're just going to go talk to everybody and, get a little bit of a pep talk from some and just some information from others. Yunica's really feeling sorry for herself, wonders what she's even doing here, all that good stuff. Kind of sits here moping, reflects on her past and how she met the goddesses. Basically, as a child, she kind of snuck into their area, was playing around, and the goddesses caught her and decided to befriend her. And as she grows up, she swears that she's going to become, a knight worthy of them and of protecting them, and be just like her father. And in the last bit, she convinces the Knight Commander to allow her to tag along on this little expedition down to the tower. Basically just, stubborn. Determined to do whatever she needs. And one last pep session from our good friend Roy here. He comes down and tells us this story that while he was exploring the upper levels, he saw a very significant artifact. He saw a two-handed greatsword that was, crimson in color. Yunica recognizes that this was actually her late father's sword. Not entirely sure what it's doing in the tower, but she still wants to, reclaim it. She kind of temporarily doubts that she has the right to do so. But Roy gives her the pep talk she needs, says basically, quit moping, quit being a drama queen, and do what you do best, hit stuff. Great line. And he admits fully that, he played her just like a deck of cards and gets her on her merry way. Alright, and with that, we're going right back into the tower. Off to reclaim our father's sword. Oh man, suspicious big arena. Fortunately, it seems like nobody's home this time. Excellent. Turns out the demons left the almighty sword in the capable defensive hands of a couple slimes and whatever these guys are. Alright. And now we have one more cutscene before we get back to the action. We have a little moment with the spirit of our father, who is communicating to us through the providence of the goddesses. So we get a chance to basically call our dad a jerk for dying and leaving us and all that other stuff. And he gets his chance to tell us how proud of us he is, and he knows we're gonna do the right thing and be a great knight and all that good stuff. Essentially assures us that we're worthy of wielding this Crimson Lotus Blade. Alright, so when we get our Lotus Blade here, we're going to get the last of our abilities, which will be the Phoenix Flame. It'll let us shoot a fiery projectile. Okay, we now have our Phoenix Flame skill. And back to Guilty Fire. This next room you can actually do a little bit of a skip by just doing some fancy jumping. I have missed it more times than I care to count, so I'm just going to go ahead and raise the platform. I'm going to go ahead and laugh if I still miss it anyway. Alright, not bad. Yeah, it saves probably 5-10 seconds if you skip that. But if you fall, you have to wait for the platform cycle to get back up. We're going to drop down here and pick up a Topaz, which powers up our Volt Crash and allows it to be charged. I think this is actually the only Topaz in the run that we get. Oh, that was close. I was worried they were going to block me. Okay to take a little bit of damage here. Don't want to take a ton. Once again, I have forgotten this is like one of the only outside tower areas that goes to the left. I always want to go to the right. And of course, we want to hug Unica's right side, that's the top wall there, so we get a couple extra speed bounces. And here we're going to pick up a Ruby, which, shocker, strengthens our Phoenix Flame and allows us to charge that. Alright. Go ahead and activate this statue. We do need the heal, but also we are going to come back here. And enter the Devil's Corridor. Ooh, spooky. So as soon as we enter, we get greeted with some shrieking ghosts in the back. And you can see if you're watching that my health is rapidly draining here. We find another Roo who is, of course, hungry. And give it a Rotafruit. This is the one that we've been sacking away since the last area. And he sings us a lovely little melody. Yunica recognizes this melody as a tune that Epona and Rhea used to play. Not entirely sure how the Roo knew it, but you know, cool. This gives us the idea to play the silver harmonica here. So we play the same song, only slightly more upscaled because yay harmonica. And wouldn't you know that, it puts the souls at peace and we can proceed through this area. Alright, so now we need to kill off all the right guys. There's a whole bunch of them in this area, so the idea is just to kind of get them all grouped up and use our bolt crash where we can. We can definitely use our boosts here. There's a lot of boost refills. Helps if we actually pick it up and not just, you know, drop it on the floor. Great. Okay, good. We do want to try to group these guys up as much as possible. That's right. We're going to be going to God of Statue, so. Alright. Thankfully we did not miss any this time. I have absolutely missed some in the past. Not ideal. Climb up here to the top, run outside, and pick up a cargo ore. I mentioned that weapon damage was super important in this, so we're going to immediately go back to base camp and turn that in. We do want to make sure we're picking the second option when we talk to Rico. If you select the first, he talks, and in some instances he can be very long-winded, so you lose a lot of time. Alright, we got our weapon upgraded. And we're gonna go right back to the Devil's Corridor. When you transition maps, it sometimes resets your joystick orientation, so even if you're holding forward, sometimes Yunica will just stand there. It's just a thing with this game, I guess. I assume, you know, as I start running this a little bit more, I'll probably get the hang of that a little bit better. We're going to pick up the boosts along the way just to kind of keep being able to use whirlwind. The timing to go underneath that and still make it up where you need to go is a little tight. I've gotten once or twice in practice. At least I didn't fall down this time like I did on my last run, so I'll count that as a win, I guess. Alright, so we're reaching the area where we're going to do our next little bit of level grinding. believe the target on this one, unfortunately my life support were cut off just from being shrunk down to size, so I can fit it on the screen. Yes, I'm playing all of this on a single monitor, huzzah. But I believe the target is 181. I am going to spend a little bit of extra time and gain another level, or maybe 2 here. On my last run, I think I went in 181, and I was finding I was having trouble dealing enough damage to the boss's parts to hit stun mode. So I gotta do a little bit of practice on that boss, and actually a lot of the bosses, if I'm being honest. But I think it's worth the extra 30 seconds to a minute or so grind that it's going to be here than having to either redo the boss or hit extra cycles on the boss. At least for now. Alright, so yeah, this would be, I believe, the level that we typically go in at. But you can see we're already halfway to the next level, so we'll get that and then move on. Alright, one more trip in, should be good to go. Alright. Sometimes it's hard to walk away from half-dead things. Oh, nice. Okay, great. This door is, much like the others, a suggestion, but in terms of the actual community, nobody seems to really know how this door works, so yeah, that's fun. So I'm going to reload a couple times as needed. Since I find having the magic helpful to get through the door. Hopefully this will not take too long. Normally I have a boost here. It's a little unfortunate that I don't. Oh boy. I have my own little rhythm that typically will get me through the door within a couple tries. I say typically as I sit here and just absolutely fail this door. Dead here. Huh. Come on. Get through, buddy. gonna go try to get a boost real quick. I don't know if that's really gonna help. Oh, this stinks. Yeah. This is all just a huge waste of time. This is really unfortunate. Yeah, I was thinking there were some monsters there. There's not. This actually triggers the sequence of events that gets you the medallion to open this door, which at this point it may have been faster to just go kill all these things. Ugh. Terrible. Alright, can I get my boost? Okay, try this again? Yeah, this split should have been a time save. It's not. That's alright. So you can see why the boost is actually really helpful for this door. You get so many more tries. Oh wow, this door just hates me right now. I even did a practice against it to see how it would treat me today. There we go. Ugh. We're gonna, yeah, I mean, we're just massive time loss. We should have been done with the boss now, and we're just starting it. Brutal. Alright, well, carry on. Sometimes that door just doesn't like you. I think next time I'm gonna make sure I take some hits so that I have my boost. So the goal of this is to defeat his arms and get his head to lower. And then do enough damage so that he summons his arms again. Lava, same thing. Ooh, that was early. That was unfortunate. No, we're gonna do the damage on this one either. Yeah, we didn't. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Oh boy, terrible door and not a great boss fight either. Yeah, now we gotta wait for this. And now he's gonna... You know. Alright. See if we can finish this out at least. Once again, we're just going to take the lava. Alright, we got him. So we'll lose a little bit of time here. Not a ton. All because of the door. Music's out, so we'll go ahead and split. There is still plenty of time to be gained in this. The run starts to get kind of crazy from here. There's some really advanced tech to do some more skips. And we'll see how it goes. Alright. Alright, I'm going to save here just in case this next part doesn't go so well. Oh, okay, well, helps I'm on the right thing, huh? Oh boy. We're going to kill one of these guys just to get a level. That actually will help with an upcoming fight. Oh, and I don't have my boost here either. Wow, I'm not doing so hot with boost. Oh, terrible. Alright. Gosh. Alright. Well. Oh, goodness. Alright, we're gonna just recharge and hopefully not miss it this time. I'm gonna just let my magic recharge. Alright. Alright, good. Somehow still better than my last attempt. Alright, we're gonna need at least 2, 3 to get over here, so... Alright, we're good. Alright, now this, we can just jump up. Okay, good. There's a specific angle where we get a little bit more height off of that. These guys do a ton of damage, so we do want to be a little careful. Oh, yeah, yeah, you can see. We just got wiped out there. We gotta be very careful we don't die here. We're gonna have to do that again. We really don't want to do that. I'm trying to play a little bit more aggressive to get some time back, but that almost did not work out in my favor at all. Oh, what? Oh, he was still alive. Oh, gosh. Sigh. Yeah, I thought he was dead. It's gonna be another run that I'm not gonna be able to upload, huh? That's alright, it's all practice. We'll get a good run. All practice. We're gonna lose so much time on this split. Alright, let's try this again, huh? So these ramps have ice physics. If you jump and attack, you can gain momentum on them. Oh my gosh, this guy up here is going to be a real pain, huh? There we go. I cannot believe I died to these guys. I even gained that extra level to make it a little bit easier. Brutal. Alright, well, there we go. Still plenty of time to save, somehow. Alright, so we get our gold bracelet. This gives us the ability to double jump, which also gives us the ability to triple and even quadruple jump, depending on the situation. Triple jump is a glitch that was discovered quite a while ago, actually. It's been known for a number of years. The quadruple jump was discovered, I think, about 2 years ago, and as of right now, only the world record makes use of it. Say hi to the Roo. We're not actually going to say hi to that guy. I don't remember what that one gives you, but we're not going to get it. Alright, so now we make it into here. And we run into the other goddess, Goddess Rhea. So they have a little chat. Once again, she basically tells Yunica, just kind of trust us, trust the goddesses, let them do what they need to do, and go ahead and leave. But again, we're in a suspicious arena-sized area, so of course we're going to get surrounded. Fortunately, these guys are much easier than Kishkul, and we make short work of them. Oh my goodness, we're gonna lose. Wow. 5 minutes to the boss. Yeah, we're in trouble. That's okay. If the skips coming up go well enough, we can save a fair bit of time. So essentially we learned that Fina was not captured because of us. Fina was actually using herself as a diversion so that Rhea could escape with the Black Pearl. We go ahead and deliver the Silver Harmonica, and Rhea says, you know, she needs to go, Yunica needs to leave, but that Fina is being held in this place called Rado's Annex. She gives us the silver chimes, which allows us to permanently kill off these undead spirits that are coming back to life. Unfortunately, we still have to do it with our axe. We do not have the power of amazing goddess lightning. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and equip our new toy. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot to equip that armor. That's probably a big reason why I died. Oh, man. Alright. Rip. So Rado's Annex is an area of the game that, with the now that quadruple jump has been discovered, can actually be skipped. Unfortunately, it requires a triple jump to set up, and then a quadruple jump to skip the door. It saves a significant chunk of time if you can pull it off. Probably about on the order of like 15 minutes or so. So you can actually afford to attempt it for quite a while before you just have to give up. Unfortunately, like I said, it's very tricky to do. I've managed it 2 times so far in practice, and only 1 time within any reasonable amount of time. So I'm going to gain a couple levels for the upcoming boss fight in Rado's Annex. I guess I should talk a little bit more about triple jumping. So to do a triple jump, essentially you will jump and then attack, not quite on the same frame, but like within a frame or so of each other. So jump, attack, and then exactly 20 or 20 to 23 frames after that, you press jump and attack at the same time, and you'll gain extra height. And then if you spam jump and attack at that point, you can launch yourself much higher. If it goes well, we'll see an example of it in the very next room once I get my level here. Alright, so we're going to try our triple jump. Helps if you're on the axe. Oh boy. Yeah, so it takes advantage of Unica's axe attack. There we go. For some reason, I've been trying to do the jump attack simultaneous input much earlier than you're supposed to get it. So, oops. We're going to see another example of it in this room. Hopefully, I can get it within a reasonable amount of time without having to kill everything. Nope. Unfortunately, we are likely going to have to kill everything. Close. There we go. Did not actually have to fight things, which is kind of nice. That's quite a bit quicker than my last attempt. As you can see, the triple jump is very precise and kind of quirky to get. So having a door require that just for the setup, and then a quadruple jump on top of that just makes it very difficult to be consistent with. As I said, as of right now, only the world record holder gets it. We will see some quadruple jumps in my run, but they're going to be much simpler ones to set up. And they'll probably still take me forever to get, because I'm just not good. Won't mince words. I got a lot of practice to do still. So we are going to go ahead and go to the right, over to Rado's Annex. We're going to get a whole bunch of cutscenes, and you'll see why it would be so beneficial to be able to do that, skip consistently and just skip this whole area entirely. Yeah, and unfortunately, because of the couple resets I had to do at the beginning of this area, we're going to be down even more time. We should be killing the boss right about now. Unfortunately, we still have this cutscene and another one. So we encounter some more of our party members, and we have found this Rado's Annex where Goddess Fina is being held. And we meet Hugo fact here, one of the other sorcerers on the team. He's another playable character, actually. He tells us that the tower is emanating some just absolutely unsavory energy, and that perhaps we should not go in there. Yunica says, well, you know, we're not going to learn anything standing out here, so we should probably just send me in and let's see what happens. And so, once again, Yunica is going to do what Yunica does best and go hit things. And surprise to nobody, obviously not a trap tower is in fact a trap. Set by none other than Sorceress Saba. She kind of makes fun of us for being a petty little amateur knight who can't even use magic, and oh, I pity you and all that good stuff. So she's gonna give us a nice little toy to play with. Yeah, this little Beelzebub type looking thing. This boss, you want to try to do as much damage to up front as you can. Once the patterns start going, this boss goes sideways really quickly. Those flames do an immense amount of damage, so you gotta be careful not to get caught in those. And once the statues start moving around and shooting orbs, there's just projectiles and stuff everywhere to dodge. So you can see why I dared to go on the higher end of the level spectrum here. Oh yeah. Yeah, just everything hurts so much in this battle. We don't want to be in that. Alright. We'll take it. Split on fade out and be, 2 minutes behind. Brutal. Oh, that death really cost me. That's unfortunate. Alright, lesson for next time. We can still recover that. Most of my triple and quadruple jump skips on my first attempt were just absolutely abysmal. There was something going on, I don't know. I did find my controller was actually eating some of my inputs, so I've got a new one on order, and I'm playing with a different one right now. Which is why I immediately walked off at the beginning of the game. The D-pad's a little bit different than what I'm used to. So we are going to go ascend the tower now, and immediately see this very ugly looking door. Yunica aptly puts it, this does not look good. So we have more cutscene with our party members who have come in to investigate the tower now that the seal is broken. And our two resident sorcerer experts, Hugo and Satina here, go and check out the door and get absolutely noped by it. Denied. And also denied. Basically, they come up with this idea that we need some sort of way to trick the door into thinking we're demons, some kind of, demonic energy. Maybe like an evil ring that may or may not be laying around the tower somewhere that we may have picked up at the beginning of this zone. The only problem with that is that said evil ring has actually lost all of its charge. Fortunately, in order to restore it, all we have to do is just go back down to this room and we'll see some new flashing red enemies. So we just gotta go take care of them. So we're gonna try and group them up so that we can take them all out at once. Alright, and just like that, the evil ring's power has been restored. So we're going to go ahead and crystal right back up to Rado's Annex. It's worth noting you cannot crystal outside of Rado's Annex. Once you go in the tower, it's just sealed off. You know, magical prison and barrier and all that good stuff. So we're going to go back to the top of the tower, and we're going to go ahead and equip our evil ring. This game likes to play a trick on you if this is the first time you're playing it. If you just equip the evil ring and then exit the menu, you will just die. So you actually have to equip it in conjunction with that blue necklace that we got from Rico way back at the beginning of the game. And that helps, you know, put a barrier between you and the evil energy of that ring. And so we go inside and we have yet another lengthy cutscene with Goddess Fina, who talks a little bit more about the plot now and how they came down to Earth with the Black Pearl with the hope of sealing off the demonic energy. Once again, you can see how if you are able to perform the triple then quadruple skip through that door, you can skip this whole area of the boss fight, all of these cutscenes. Again, all in all, it's probably somewhere in the order of 10 to 15 minutes of time save. With any luck, once my new controller gets here, I can start practicing, get a little bit more consistent with it. But even if you're practiced, it can still be really difficult to hit that couple frame window to set off the triple jump. And then in addition to that, when you're doing the quadruple jump, you actually need to pause the game and do a weapon swap as well. And it does, at least for me, it feels like it changes the timing ever so slightly. I don't know. We'll see if I get it any more consistent right now. I didn't mention it yet, but most runners do run this game on the PC version, which is interesting because console version actually introduced a fast forward feature, which allows you to, you still have to watch the cutscenes, but it plays them at a much faster rate. Yeah. Even without all the newly introduced skips with the quadruple jump and even some of the triple jumps, on PS4 I think the time is about an hour and 45 minutes. By comparison, the world record right now on PC with all the additional skips, including the one that skips this area, is around an hour and a half. So it makes a huge difference. Alright, and so at the end of this cutscene, unfortunately Knight Captain decides that it's Yunica's time, and we're gonna slay her. Nah, just kidding. Of course, you know, in recognition of her bravery and cleverness, he decides that it's time to make Yunica a full-fledged knight. So, nice little touching scene here. Alright, and so with all that out of the way, now we can finally go over here and get our chest. This whole annex was all about getting this amber key. If you don't do certain skips later in the run, you will actually need to come back here as well. I've managed to implement those skips into my run, so right now the only thing keeping me from skipping this whole section is that door. I'm actually going to save here. For whatever reason, on my last attempt, I died in the next section, and that's not great. It still puts you back in Rado's Annex, but it puts you back at the tower itself, so it'll save like half a second of walking back if I happen to die. This is the infamous door. The next door you can also skip with a triple or quadruple jump. I'm not very consistent at it, so I'm actually just going to run up here and try to get the triple jump here. There we go. It's a little bit harder to get the triple jump at the right height and the right angle so that you can actually clip through the next door. A lot of times it wants to rubber band you back out, which is not ideal. There's also a triple jump wall skip over to the right of this area, and that allows you to bypass this area. Unfortunately, I'm not great at the setup for that either, so I'm just going to take the long way around. If you manage to get that, you also need to do a climb up a backward, up one of those slopes. Okay. You need to climb up a slope and jump off of it at a particular spot and not go flying, so that you can reach a chest over here. Done well, that trick would probably save about a minute, somewhere between 45 seconds and a minute over going the long way here. This is just much more consistent for me right now. You have to be a little careful not to get absolutely murdered here. Alright, good. So there is a way up to this slope from down below. With a triple jump. I have gotten it a number of times, and I've actually gotten it consistently enough that it might be worth it. Here I'm going to duck in here and just set a save point in case anything goes really bad here. We're going to try to get a level or two in this room. If you don't hit that save point and you happen to die in this room, then you get ported all the way back to your Rados Annex save, which is really unfortunate. Huge time loss. So just going up first is a little bit of a safety zone. Like I said, we are going to try to get a level here. Alright, we got it. We're good. And we're going to move on. I'm going to take a safety save here. Hopefully I will not miss this clip. If I do, we're going to lose even more time. Historically, I've been doing this with a triple jump. I found it more consistent, but if you get a wall run angle just right, you can just double jump and then spin dash over this next boss. Actually, I'm going to go back and save again. I'm supposed to open the door first, in case I do have to reload. Otherwise, you have to sit here and watch this again, which is not ideal, so... things to improve on. Alright, let's see if I get this angle. Alright, first try. We love to see it. Good. Okay, now there's another cutscene I'm going to try to do a quadruple skip for. Nope. Quite get it. I got it. No, I didn't get it. Alright, we're just gonna watch the cutscene. Unfortunate. If you get the quadruple jump, you can go flying over this cutscene and save, I don't know. It's probably like 30 seconds. I believe I did get it in my first run of this. That will not be the only time we do the quadruple jump. We will see it several times, and it is required for a couple things for my run. So hopefully they'll go better than this one. Yeah, about 30 seconds or so that we can save. And again, it's probably not even worth trying too many times. We are going to go and activate this guy. And we're going to go back to base camp. I probably should have done that before. I completely forgot. We got a Clarion Ore, so we want to go and upgrade our axe. On my last run here, I completely forgot to do this. I got halfway through, or not halfway through, but I started into Blighted Blood and had to come all the way back to get the upgrade. So I lost a little bit of backtrack time there. Ha! And right back to Blighted Blood. This area is very easy to die in. The monsters are fast, they're very aggressive, they do a ton of damage. You want to kind of move your way through here somewhat specifically while also trying to kill them for some levels. You can skip the upcoming trap spike with a triple jump and a wall run, I believe. But if you miss, you take a ton of damage and lose all the time it's going to take you to just run over and hit the switch. So for now, I'm just going to keep hitting the switch. No, okay, cool. Yeah, let's just take the damage anyway. That's awesome. Stellar, man. Alright, we're gonna get one more level anyway. Excellent. Okay. Hi, Rue. Yeah, we won't be talking to him. In fact, I think we're done with Rue's for the run. So if we go north here, there's a door that you can skip. Right now it requires the Crimson Key to get in. If you can skip it reliably, and it does require a quadruple jump at a pretty precise angle, but if you can skip it reliably, it ends up being about a 2-minute time save. Otherwise you have to come over here and fight these guys. And these guys do a ton of damage. These guys are absolutely miserable. They also love to go down those stairs. Oh my gosh, yeah. Try and get these guys back up. It's unfortunate. Yeah, we need to. Yeah, if you get melee range, these guys can absolutely wreck your day. Makes a royal pain on these stairs. This is actually really unfortunate. I might have to go back for a heal after this, unless I get a couple herbs. So you can see why it would be pretty advantageous, oh my gosh, to skip this whole battle. Yeah, I'm wasting so much time on these guys, that's unfortunate. I'm pretty close to feeling comfortable with the door. But it's another one like that one boss door where it likes to just rubber band you for whatever reason. Oh, of course I ran right into that. Unfortunate. Alright. At least they died. Man, I really don't like that health. I think I'm going to go back and do a safety heal. I really don't like doing this. This is a waste of time, but I did it on my last run, so it's not terrible. Oh, right. Yep. I think I did that on my last run, too. I'm not used to coming back through here while the gates are active. Gosh. Yeah, that's fine. More time lost. Fine. Time lost. Alright. Well, that's a little bit of time lost between friends, huh? So, the next area has a lot of really strong enemies that can do a absolute ton of damage out of nowhere. It can be really hard to sometimes see the attack on you. And if you die, you go all the way back to the beginning of burning blighted blood and have to do all of this all over again. So that's why we went back and got a safety save. Yeah, those little spark bombs there, they do a ton of damage if they hit you. And they can be really easy to miss. So, from a pure speedrun perspective, we want to go off to the right and pick up an item, our last Claria ore. But for safety's sake, we're going to go ahead and go off to the left here. And yes, I know I just did a safety heal. But we're going to go off to the left here and defeat these guys. And that will allow us to free this goddess statue and actually have a warp point. Yeah, you can see those things are really easy to miss. There's one right there. And they just do so much damage if they catch you in it. So we just want to try to keep these guys stunned and just otherwise preoccupied so that they can't put more bombs on us. Oh yeah, that would hit me. That's unfortunate. Man, we're taking so much damage. More. Hey, over here still. Ah. Okay, yeah, I mean, not amazing, but okay enough. We'll hit that. And the next section, we're gonna have to do a triple jump in a somewhat chaotic room, so we'll see how that goes. That's the reason why I went over and got a save there, because again, if I die, I don't want to go all the way back to burning blood, or blighted blood every time. So hopefully I'll just get this within, you know, try here. Oh, easy every time. Alright, we'll take it. I'm gonna go ahead and go back and use it, because I'm going to attempt to skip the next cutscene and all that other stuff, so we won't need to go back to base camp otherwise. This is our last weapon tempering. And everybody say it with me now. Ha! Oh, I'm wrong. That is not our last one. Our last one is at the Hall of Reflections. We'll get there a little bit later. We'll get to say ha one more time. Alright. So now we're going to head off to the left here. And we're going to triple jump over this. Oh, or we're going to get hit by this guy. You know what, we're just going to get rid of him. He's annoying. Alright. Okay, now we're going to quadruple jump over a cutscene. So I'm going to be looking for a specific pause animation. I don't think that was it, but we're going to try it anyway. Oh, I think we got it. Yep, we did. Excellent. So we skip a whole cutscene there, where we meet the big bad guy Dallas, who turns our friends into stone. And then there's a whole wild cutscene of recreating the demonic energy to purify that, which involves going back to Tower Base, going to see Hugo and getting a fake black pearl, going back to Rado's Annex to get it, you know, blessed. So by skipping that, the other part of that cutscene, at the end of it, the reward is the medal for this area's boss. So we are going to have to skip one more door, which is also going to require a specific angle and a quadruple jump. Okay, we're going to try to get a couple levels up off these floating enemies here. Well, not these specifically, but as we go along, we'll see more of them. Open this chest, and we're going to get not the best boots in the game, but this is the last set of boots we're going to get, and actually the only set. Just for added defense. Trying to be a little careful there. So if we were going to go through the cutscene, we'd have to go to the north here, and we'd see a cutscene with Hugo and the Clawman. And Hugo would give us the fake black pearl, essentially. Which is kind of similar to the Evil Ring. It's basically just an artifact that the devils use, that we can use as part of the ritual to break that stone curse that didn't happen. Try and weaken these guys before I get my level, but I take no damage. Alright, excellent. Now we're gonna farm this hallway down here. And again, the idea here is to catch up on some of the levels that we're missing by doing all these skips and just being generally under-leveled from speedrunning. There we go. So yeah, even with as much as I've practiced, I'm still wildly inconsistent at that. This is kind of unfortunate. Ooh. Oh, okay. Okay. We actually want to fight these guys, yeah. No, we do. We want to try to get one more level if possible. largely going to get this level to help unlock the next room, which is also a safety thing. The skip itself is really annoying to do, but if you get the skip and then you miss the boss, you wouldn't have a save all the way back to the other goddess statue, so this is definitely going to be a safety save in case I screw up the boss skip, which is certainly known to happen. So this skip was largely believed impossible right up until the quadruple jump was found. So hopefully I can get this in relatively short order. This is again a quadruple jump, but at a very specific angle at this door. So I gotta see if I can find. Okay, that ready. Nope. That might be it. No, I don't think I went high. Nope. Alright, I'm gonna try again. Okay, we got the height. Hopefully this is it. Alright, and we're through. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and try to do... This is just a triple jump. I think I'm going to do it the old way. Sure, I get the hard one, right? Alright, we're good. Woo! Easy every time. Okay. That's a lot of pressure off, but the end of the game is still rough, so we're gonna keep going. I do not actually know how to avoid this cutscene trigger. It's definitely possible, but I've tried everything from triple to quadruple jumping, and I still hit it every time, so I'm not entirely sure where the boundary is for it. It's a very short cutscene, so unless you get it like first or maybe second try, it's not even worth skipping anyway. Try to make up some more lost levels on these slimes. experience. They do have a tendency to confuse you if they hit you, which is really unfortunate. It just reverses your controls in classic, terrible RPG fashion. We do not need to grind all the way to 284 here. There's a couple more batches of slimes that we can hit, but we do want to get someone close. Yeah, there's confused, sure. And much like any other confused mechanic in an RPG, you don't really get a warning when it decides it's time to go the right way. Yeah, so you just kind of turn around like that. Good times. We'll probably do 2 more clears here and then move on. Sure, why not? You'll know we're picking up gems. They're generally not relevant to the speedrun. There are a couple safety factors that you can get, which I'll probably get before the next boss, just to make things a little bit easier. Using them as currency. We're at 278. We need 1 more level. So we're just going to keep killing the things along the way. Yeah, that guy did a ton of damage. Oop, wrong way. I did that last time too. Yeah, we want to go up here. And then we're going to hope that we get a triple jump fairly quickly here. Go. Not terrible. Could have been better. Would really like to start getting these a little bit more often first try. But we'll take what we get. So the next boss has got another door we're going to need a key for. I believe you can actually skip the door, but much like the Crimson Key door, it's very precise. So I'm going to go ahead and just get the key like normal. We're going to pick this up. This is the best armor in the game, the silver dress. Give us a little bit more defense, so we're almost caught up to where we should be. And we are going to go ahead and just kill these guys. They just tend to get all up in the way. And I just discovered that Bolt Crash works wonders on those. Holy cow. Okay, I usually just use Tornado. Huh. So we gotta kill our flashing guys here. It'd be really nice if they would stack up. Oh, I did not want to use that. That's alright. I did discover if you accidentally use that, that you're still okay. Oh my goodness. I am not in a green spot right here. Okay. Yeah, with all the projectiles and confuse happening here, this is just not a fun area. Yeah, of course. I am. Oh my goodness. Alright, well we got our boost back, I guess. Don't love fighting on the stairs here. Okay. They were alright. bit of safety. Okay, we want to triple jump back up here. We're going to make our way back and get the chest. Okay, the obsidian key is what we need for the next boss fight. Unfortunately, I didn't get hit with that. Okay, Oop. Oh, I missed it. Alright, well, we'll get another try. There we go. I don't love killing these guys, but my health is not great, and I do want to upgrade my armor and boots for the next boss fight, so I'm just going to deal with these guys and probably get confused 10,000 times along the way. Yep, there we go. Excellent. Ideally, you can get your level a little bit closer to this room, and then you can just ignore these guys and go straight to the fight. The heal is not really required, as long as you have enough health to defeat the boss. If you happen to die during the boss, you just get to retry, as I did very early in the run here. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my armor as well. So we're going to accept our Divine Blessing, upgrade our boots and our armor, get a little bit more defense. It's not a lot, but it does help. And while we're in here, we'll go ahead and upgrade our MP usage, and skill recovery, and boost. And I don't think I have enough for anything else, so we are going to call it at that. Do I need to save? Absolutely not. Am I going to? Sure, why not? Alright, so this next boss is a rematch with our friend Epona, who is just as aggressive as the first time, and then some. There's a cutscene, or video there that gets missed, because we have videos off, but essentially the tower starts shaking and lighting up, and we find that Dallas has started the evil ritual. But Epona thinks it'd be more fun to just duel, so we're going to go ahead and duel. This fight, again, is very much like the last one. She's hyper-aggressive. We do want to try to conserve health for the second phase, so I'm going to play it a little bit cautious. I'm going to try to bait her into doing her charge attack again. Come on. And one, and this time she does two. And once again, we want to kind of bait her into a wall and just kind of try to keep her guarding up as much as we can. Oh. Alright. That was close. Should be pushing her into phase 2 very shortly, about halfway. Alright, phase 2. Now there's 3 of them, and they hurt. And her charge is much faster, so you have to react a bit faster. Yeah, very easy to get caught in that. Oh. Fortunately, I believe all three of them do actually take damage, so depending on how they stack up, you can do some decent damage to her. Alright, we're gonna play it a little bit safe here. Hopefully. Oh, come on. Alright, good. We got her. That's good. We did lose a fair bit of time, probably on that fight alone. But that's okay. This next split, I lost a ton of time trying to get the quadruple, so we'll see how this goes. I'll have to look back and see why I lost so much time on that split. I mean, it wasn't a particularly good split this time, but still kind of curious. Alright, this clip is not terribly hard. I really struggled with it the other day, so hopefully I can get it. A little too high. You want to get Yunica's foot like halfway on the stair, and then tap right without moving. Still too high. Ugh. This just saves you from having to go back around the room. It's probably not worth it at this point for me, but at this point it's kind of the principle. Oh gosh, alright, I'll give it 2 more tries, and then we're just gonna go and eat the time loss, I guess. Really struggling getting the positioning on this controller. No, we'll give it 1 more try. Oh, what a waste of time, huh? Yeah, I can't get her foot even on there. No. Alright, we're going. That's unfortunate. We're still ahead. And like I said, this split I lost so much time. So if you get the clip, you just end up down here. So I mean, it's really not that big of a time save. If you get it. It's certainly worth it, but probably not worth trying as many times as I just did. So, oh well, moving on. So we needed to defeat Epona to get the rod, which enables us to enter this area, the Hall of Reflection. Oh, what am I doing? We're not going to go through the maze. We have a triple jump for that. Alright, and here we pick up our last Claria ore. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade our weapon 1 last time. But first, activate this statue so that we can come back. Alright, like I said, our last one. And ha! Alright, and Rico basically even says, yeah, it's as good as it's gonna get, good luck. GG, have fun, don't die. We're gonna safety save in case I accidentally trigger the boss fight. This boss is an absolute nightmare, and it's really great that we can skip it now. It was doable with the triple jump, but it required a very specific wall run, and you only got 1 shot at it. quite get the height. Nope. We're close. Maybe? I don't think that was the right animation, but we're gonna try it. Nope. Nope. I think that was the animation. Oh well. You're kind of looking for the diagonal swipe. Oh, here we go again. Oh, I had it. Darn it. Maybe? Nope, not quite. There we go, we got it. And no boss fight. Excellent, we'll take it. That's a big plus over the last run. If you happen to die in this area, you do actually start back in this area rather than having to do that skip again, which is really nice. It's not as bad on easy, but these guys really just wallop you on normal or higher difficulty. We're looking to get a couple levels here. Really, these guys probably aren't the best thing to farm. They're a little bit annoying. Okay. One thing I did find out, on my last run, I kind of hypothesized that EXP was diminishing as you leveled up. Because I noticed that I wasn't getting the same level when I was fighting Kishkal here. What I found out, or realized I wasn't paying attention to, was there's an EXP percentage bonus when you keep a combo going. So if you fight Kishkal well, then you can gain an extra level, which will make the final boss fight that much easier. Yeah, sometimes you just get stuck in a rhythm, and it can be kind of difficult to break out of that to get the right rhythm. Kishkal gave me a lot of trouble on the last run too, so I'm probably going to gain one extra safety level here. Actually two. don't want to kill those guys. Those guys are not worth it. The trees are pretty good, and the plants can be okay. There we go. Alright, we're good. We're gonna just go. Oh, unfortunate. I really didn't want to take all that damage. I don't really want to kill these guys, but we're gonna kill these guys. Again, this is gonna let us heal. Get this guy back up here and pray. So these guys can put a heavy debuff on you, which just slows you way down. Alright, good enough. And of course we get full heal from that too. Alright. Off we go to Kishkul. We're gonna go ahead and get this. I think you might, maybe, have to kill those guys for the door. I'm not 100% sure. I get the inkling you don't have to, but... Alright, we're gonna see if I can get this flip. I did find a setup for it, which is to use this dot. Oh yeah, not like that. Yeah, this is gonna be great, isn't it? Oh boy. Every time I think I'm consistent with something. So the idea is to put your foot on the dot, go diagonal, and then jump into the wall here. And if you do it right, you'll clip in like that. And then you can just jump or run up there, and you're good to go. Okay, so this guy I found a little bit of new tech by watching some of the videos, and it looks like if you are aggressive with him and knock him into his shield attack, or his shield stance, if you wait like a second or so and then jump in the air, you can break him out into, most of the time, bait him into a tornado attack, which you can then just counter with your bulk crash, and you can guard the attack while dealing damage, put him in a shield state again, and basically just rinse and repeat. I've done it a couple times, okay-ish. Most of the time I just kind of wing this fight. It can get very ugly. I lost a ton of time on this on my last attempt. He just really beat me down. So, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so that's the tornado that we want to get. Unfortunately, I did not knock him out of it, so that's wonderful. Oh, I'm doing a great job of getting him into a guard, aren't I? Really nice if I can get him to guard. Sure, okay, well, whatever. Yeah, okay, there you go. That's kind of what you want to do for pretty much the whole fight. Oh. Well, alright, so he's also going to do this, like, ultimate thing, and if you bait it right, you can get in a whole bunch of damage from the outside here. Alright! Alright, we'll take it. That was a good fight. That was a gold fight. We like to see that. Could have definitely gone better, but yeah, I mean, that was a big time save. So all that's left now is the final boss. I should have enough extra damage from the level. I did get the level bonus, which is really nice. I mean, it also probably helped that I was 2 levels higher than I was expecting to be on this fight. But if you get the full combo and you kill him, even at, I think, 302 HP, you still get up to this final level of, or not final, but the level with 348. The final boss can be killed at 330. It's a little dicey. In fact, I got very lucky on my my first run. I think I beat him with just a fraction of a health bar left. So we're going to try to make as much use of wall running up these stairs as we can. Again, trying to get the precise angles on a controller is not wonderful. But... So, yeah, this run will definitely be beatable. But hopefully we'll at least get Dallas here on the first go, and we'll just have a clean, I don't know, 8-9 minute PB. I'll take that. I would love to see this be sub 230, so as long as I don't have to retry this fight, I think we'll be okay. Fingers crossed. So for the first phase, it's mostly just dodging his attacks, or you can tank his attacks and or you can just tank his attacks and just burst him down. Honestly, tanking the hits with this level might actually be better. It's certainly the better option for speedrun if you're confident in the other two phases. I think because this run is ending so well right now, I think I'm going to attempt to play it a little bit safer and dodge some of the attacks and try to save some of my health for the third phase. There is a lot that can go wrong in the third phase. If I'm not paying attention, I can eat a lightning bolt, and if I don't have my burst up, it's just going to do a ton of damage. If I get caught in a snare trap, he does, I don't know, 100, 200 damage. It's kind of crazy. It's just a free, he murders you beam. And all the while, you're just going to be taking chip damage from his other regular attacks. So yeah, first phase is mostly just dodging the attacks and bursting him down. Second phase, you have to use your different weapons to break down his shields so that you can hit him, again, while dodging attacks and everything. Pretty straightforward. And then on the third phase, you have to take down his minions while bursting him. Or rather, I'm sorry, you have to take down his minions to break down his shield so that you can then burst him. You have to do it 3 times. Alright, so I am going to be kind of quiet while I try to focus on this, I think. Time is on the last hit of his third phase, so hopefully, again, we'll hopefully see a sub 230 here, as long as this fight goes okay enough. That would be really exciting. That was my initial goal for this run. I do hope to push this a little bit further, get more consistent at these double and triple and quadruple jumps. And here we go. Okay, now we're into phase 2. So we need to use our elements to break down his barrier. And he does like to float off the platform, which is really annoying. Oh, that's really annoying. Come on. Alright. Yeah, this extra level definitely helps the damage a ton. Oh, he moved. Oh my goodness. gosh. Okay. We need to back off and just get our magic back. That's unfortunate. Alright. Alright, as long as phase 3 goes well, we should still be in good shape. So now we have to defeat his minions. We have to really be mindful of that laser I was talking about. So if he starts charging up, we gotta get the heck out and dodge. That is a vortex you don't want to get sucked into, so you just want to stay on the ground and not jump. If you try to jump, it pulls you in, and if you get sucked in there, he just murders the heck out of you. Okay, he's really slap happy with that. That's fun. Alright. Alright. Oh man, he really wants to vortex. Oh, is that laser? No. That's laser. So if he lasers, you want to get up close, and then you can just rotate out of the way of it. If you are in front of him and far away, you are in big trouble. Because that does a massive ton of damage, so... Okay. And we got one more phase, hopefully. On higher difficulties, he can also slow you with that ground attack. Alright. And that is time, and we did sub 230. That's fantastic. Love to see it. Alright. Well, that was E's Origin, everybody. Not the greatest run. I still have a ton of improvement, mostly inconsistency in the skips and the triple jumps and everything. I would love to implement that door skip and try to save 10 minutes there, but, I mean, you saw some of the triple and quadruple jumps I was setting up that were easy, so inconsistent at best. Maybe eventually I'll try to add it into a run, but for now, I do want to work on cleaner boss fights. I don't want to die to Epona. I don't want to have to over-level it like I've been doing. And even upgrading the gear is not something that most runners do. It only takes 20-30 seconds, but that's 20-30 seconds I can save. So I do want to push this down even further. I would like to try to get a time close to the 2-hour mark. I don't think I'll be going for world record or anything in this. I mean, much like any other game I speedrun, I usually try to go competitive and or good enough. So yeah, I think with all the skips that I've been adding that the other runners weren't necessarily doing, I think, around 2 hours is a pretty comfortable, good goal to aim for. So a lot to clean up, and hopefully some more consistent with the skips. And yeah, definitely not done running this just yet. Next goal will be sub 215. So for now, I'm going to take off and mute and just let the ending play out. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed. See ya!